Hey, and welcome to the Toadstead. Yeah, we got a partially open box. Well, what's the story behind it? Well, going back a lot of years, I always had a rule that I never bought anything at Harbor Freight that had more than 3 moving parts. Now it goes back as far as I can remember. I don't even know when Harbor Freight opened, but I just didn't like them. That's changed over the last few years. And if you watch the channel on a regular basis, you'll know we just put an Apex 12,000-pound winch on our logging trailer, which is working great. And we had a client give us some money to do some stuff for him, and we decided that we're going to do some upgrades on the mill. And one of the things on the mill is the winch that can be put on the mill. Well, let's just show you. Here it is. Now, this is not a bad thing. Let me tell you, it works. If you've ever winched your boat up onto the trailer, you've worked one of these. I can remember back when these were also used for raising antennas. We have one of these on a ham radio antenna that puts a segment up, and it works. In fact, that log, which probably weighs close to 2,000 pounds, was able to be drug up a couple of, those 4x6s onto the mill the way you see this. The downside to it is, while it'll pretty much pull any log we can cut on this mill up here, it takes a long time. It's just, whoever's running this thing, it takes a lot of turning per inch or per foot, however you say it, to get it up here. And another issue we have is when you're raising walls, when you're building a structure, we'll use the kiln for an example. That's a 16-foot long by about 10-foot tall wall. Now this one's 2x6 construction, but now imagine that being, this one's 2x4 construction. Imagine if that was 2x6 construction and you're alone or only have a rather diminutive helper to hoist this up. Well, hoist. And that's exactly what we're looking at. Now we're back here on, the bench, and maybe now you get an idea what this is. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, there's the box. But there's the propaganda and everything that goes with it. And it's a 2500 little mini winch. And we picked this up, and we picked up this little plate because we have an idea. Now, I only got one hand here, so let me get all the stuff out of the box, and we'll come back and take a look. And there we are. Let's see. Well, there's the winch. I was a little impressed that it's only got 2 mounting holes. And that is it. That'll become more important in a minute. But then a little double fair lead, which is cool with its associated hardware. I'm assuming that's for this too. This is just neat. A keychain remote. Kind of wish my other winch had that. But then it's got the regular cable. In and out button. There you go. There's the wiring harness and circuit breaker and the relay panel. So this will all have to be mounted at some point in time. And they throw in, oh yeah, that's actually kind of cute. That's a replacement for our 12,000 pound. Anyway, it came with the little shackle and the rather diminutive, when you're so used to looking at that, hook. Now, what do you know? It doesn't even say China on it, which actually makes me happy. I'm assuming that's where this is made, but I've seen so many hooks that say, this one says forged, and that's a 5/16, yeah. But it doesn't say China on the side of it. Nothing against my Chinese friends, but, I just don't like it. So the question is, where are we going to put it? Well, We know we wanted to mount it on that same base the winch was on, the hand winch. But there were times when we were cranking those heavy logs on there where the track of the mill would actually lift. And okay, it's probably not hurting it, but I don't like it. It can't be doing it any good, because it is, when you lift it, it's twisting, because the whole mill is on the other end of it. And we just didn't like that. And I saw, oh, it's under here. Let's see. This. And I was kind of hoping this would fit on this. So we'll both see it at the first time. You see there's the mounting holes. And those holes do line up perfectly. So that gives me an idea. All right. Well, we got it all mocked up on there now. I saw something like this on Amazon that was like 30 bucks. And I had this old ball mount. Let's see, what was it? Oh, it was a Reese. I had this one hanging out. I've usually got 3 or 4 of these laying around. I used to keep different size balls on them. It's a long story, but let's just say I used to haul a lot of different trailers. Don't do it anymore, but still have all the old ball mounts. In fact, in the background, you can see the, I don't know, what is that, 2 5/16, the bigger ball that I took off of this. And all I did was drill through, and I'll make an offset spacer and get a longer screw for that side. There it is. And probably put, just because it's me, and for a couple of bucks, I'll put grade 5 bolts on there. And then I'll turn it around and I'll tack weld it after I clean it up, blah, blah, get rid of the paint. Tack weld that, take the winch off, and then go ahead and permanently weld it to the mount. $5. I think I'll get away with this mount for 10 with the cost of the bolts and the electricity, I guess. And I just threw the Fairlead on there just to see kind of what it would look like. But that's all I'm going to do today. When we come back, I will have gone ahead and thrown this all together and put all of its stuff onto it. And we'll give it a test. But I think this is going to work out. Hey, thanks a lot for coming along for the ride and seeing you can just make stuff sometimes.